Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Let me know. Let me know if my sound is okay, and then I'll start talking. Thank you, Morgan. Good to see everyone here. Reminded to do an intro. I always forget that. Thank you for it's a prayer shawl that Maria knitted for me, and it's encoded with light language, and I love it. I needed it because I feel I'm freezing right now. There's just like a lot going through me. So I have my socks on and my shawl. So before I get into it, I'm just going to say my name is Alana. I'm a spirit channel, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can do so by looking at my website, alanaheavenly.com. I am now offering private mentorship as well. So teaching how to go into your own Akashic records and reading that. So that's it. That's the spiel I have for who I am. So we have Kali Ma today, and there's a new moon coming up, and it's like either today or soonish. I don't know exactly. But when Kali Ma came through earlier, I was surprised because she's a god or goddess of destruction. And I know beginnings and endings are all kind of the same to me. I get really excited when something ends because I know that something new is starting, and I learn to let go of my grasp of endings. And so when Kali Ma came through, and I was like, oh, you want to talk about the new moon or assist with this new moon? Interesting. And so what she wants to do is, what she's saying now is that there's people that still have a grasp, are still grasping on to their old harvest, the old crops that have already decayed. You know, Kali loves talking about decayed matter. But some of you are holding on to decaying matter, things that have already rotted. We've gotten all of our nutrients from it, and it's done. And in order to let in the newness, these new energies, these new waves coming through, it is time for us to let go. And she is here to assist with that. So it's not in a way that, like, not in the way that it's a full moon and release in that way. It's different. I can't really explain it right now, but hopefully it will make more sense as we go on. So give me a shout. Say hello in the comments if you understand me, and if you have any questions. Hello, Corey. And yeah, let's talk about what are we still holding on to. Hey, Binta. Hi, Lucy. Hey, Jasmine. Some of us are holding, hey, Cadence. Some of us are holding on to things that are not serving us any longer, and it's preventing us from seeing the light, the greater things that are coming in. So what does that mean for you? And is that something you need help identifying? It could also include old thought patterns, old identities that we had before that are no longer serving us. old personalities, she's saying. And she says it may not apply to all, but it applies to some and the bulk. Attachments, yes, exactly, Morgan. Attachments to stories that we held before, but we don't need anymore. But we're holding on to it because we still feel like we need that identity. Dawn, what do you mean so much is going on? I'd also like to say that I usually have my disclaimers when it comes to Kali Ma and the stuff I channeled through her. And I'm apologizing now for having those disclaimers because you guys can completely handle what she has to say. So I apologize for babying you in the past. I was in a way babying myself, and because I still had a little bit of shame around her rawness, but I'm not doing that anymore. So if it doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't resonate, and I completely respect that. But moving forward, I'm going to try my best to not filter her and to not, because we don't need to be babied. And when we do need to be babied, then another energy will come through. But yeah, tough love is the name of the game right now. So this is all with love, completely. But I don't want to filter her words. What I will do is take the space to ask her questions for clarification in my mind to make sure that there's also humanness around it, to make sure that we can ground her teachings to this earth so that it makes more sense to us humans. So I ask for your patience with that as I going back and forth between channeling and questioning too can be, well, it is complex. Where should we start? Let's start with Jasmine. You said you felt this coming. What do you mean? Got it. I'm still going to do my disclaimer. Like, I'm going to do one disclaimer, but I'm not going to, we'll see. Yeah. Hello. What is your name? It's Bree. Is your name Bree? It's Bree. Corey, I'm happy to begin with you. But first, I'm being led to Dawn. On a personal level, I've left my job. I've left my husband of 27 years. Wow. You've let my hubby of 27 years know that I'm not in love with him. I've just stopped smoking cigarettes and weed after 40 years. Wow. Why did you leave your job? And it's important to identify any remnants that may remain when you leave something. Um, if there are still triggers that happen for you when you consider the old situations you were in, because that can tell you where you need to release further. She's saying that it's almost like PTSD. You know, when you fully have released something, when you place yourself in the situation again in your mind and you have no negative reaction to it. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Kavita. Oh, also, my message about attachments. I need to grab a crystal. Ah. I'm feeling like so cold. I'm just shaking, so I feel like I need to get settled a little bit more. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Pam. I want to make sure I say hi to everyone. Hi, forever student. What's your name? It's not cold here. I think that I was. I think she may make me cold when I channel her. Something that I've just recently realized because I was meditating and like my whole body got so cold. Anisha, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful name. Lucy, what do you mean? Why can't you see the comments? Kavita, it's different for everyone, and it's different based on who you're channeling to. I get super cold. Okay. Corey, I feel like you volunteered for this. I'm sorry. Are you ready, Corey? Why are so many people saying sorry? Sorry for what? Hi, Laura. Corey, let me know if you're ready. I can start with someone else if you'd like, but I'd like your. Okay, you said always. Okay. What are some of the old stories that you have that make you feel ashamed of yourself and your divinity and keep you small? What are some of the voices in your head that come up when your low self-esteem comes up to the forefront? What does that voice sound like in your mind? That's for Corey to answer. And for everyone too. But I'm working through this with Corey specifically. And who are the voices in your mind that say that you're not good enough, that compare yourself to others, and make you feel like you're just lesser than in general? Mm-hmm. How is that showing up for you right now? Corey said I was a crybaby in school. I was called a cheater because I was not fast learned. How does that display itself presently? Does it display itself in the opportunities that are presented to you and you feel like you're not ready or good enough? Hi, Brandy. Love you. Hmm. Yeah. And what did you do in response to hearing those old thought patterns? What voice came up and tried to steal that fun from you and that lightheartedness? It's easier to quit. Hi, Erica. What I'm doing is channeling Kali Ma, and we're identifying any patterns, any behaviors, anything that's inauthentic to us right now that we need to let go of so that we can allow new things to come to us. So, what if, Corey, what if people laugh at you? What happens if people laugh at you? Kali Ma says, okay, people will laugh at you because one person will laugh at you versus the 20 plus people who will laugh with you and be amazed and feel more lighthearted and joyful from your videos. Is it worth it? Let her cry. Allow her to cry if she needs to, but don't stifle her. The feelings are valid and real. And so is your adult self. So there are a couple ways that you can get over this. You can say fuck it and post the video. Or we can take more steps from there and really go deep into it. It's your choice. But you know the person that's scared is not you right now. That's the smaller you, that's the younger you. Which one are you going to listen to? And when I say smaller, I mean not as mature. So what do you want to do next, Corey? Make a fun video and laugh and be silly. Good. So let's picture you you made the fun video. Let's picture you hitting post on the video on TikTok. What's your reaction? Hi Patsy, welcome. Welcome to the family. We're here, I'm channeling from Kali Ma, and we're working on digging up old dead plants so that we can plant new seeds. We may not be able to solve everything tonight, but hopefully this will start a conversation in our minds so that we understand what exactly is holding us back. Okay. Corey says, there goes the swirling head spin and stomach issues. Okay, so hold that. Hold your stomach. Hold your stomach and embrace it. Like, honestly, like there's a baby inside of it because I'm seeing you pregnant right now. And just like you're nurturing it and cradling it, and close your eyes and do some breathing and communicate with it. Remind it that it's okay and that it's safe. Good night, Kavita. The thing is that there's always going to be some type of voice. There always is going to be something. And it's identifying Which voice do you want to listen to? Which version of yourself are you going to listen to? Good, Corey. And if you are okay with it, send me that link when you post it. I love TikTok. TikTok is like my thing. I treat myself to it at night, and it's so amazing. I have a TikTok crush, and I wait until the end of the night to see my TikTok crushes videos. Love it. Who's next? Feel free to post. I don't really feel like it's relevant to scroll up and see what I missed. Like, if you can repost Binta, cool. Corey, let me know what else comes up. If you're gonna stay on, let me know what else comes up for you. And write this down as well for you when this comes up again. All right, Binta. What's up? I know that I won't be able to get to everyone today, but please know that everyone can take something away from this and you can all follow along. Binta, what has you feeling insecure? And unsafe? Because I'm trying to shift my pattern of overeating. I felt like I've shifted it many times and keep falling back in. Okay. Safety and security. Yeah. Where do you feel unsafe in your life? Where do you feel like you need protection? And when in the past have your boundaries been crossed and you felt like you were unable to protect yourself? Unsafe, my relationship with my dad, and the relationship between obligation and success. Can you unfold that more in terms of obligation and success? Do you live with these people as well? Okay. When you were younger, you felt like you didn't get what you needed because you didn't perform. Do you mean that you didn't perform for them and behave how they wanted you to? Or like literally, like you did not perform? there's a part of you that's still people pleasing in a way. And even though you may not be consciously acting in the way that they want, it's still inside of you. And it's kind of like the overeating is a reaction to the anxiety you feel about doing things your own way. So then, like, the food is your way of nurturing yourself and reminding yourself that everything is okay and that you're still protected. That's what I'm intuiting from it. So when I asked, what is it that... Hold on, I was distracted. I need to ask again. They gave you a false sense of security and safety. What Kali Ma says right now is the truth is you were never safe and secure with them because you weren't safe and secure with yourself. It was all false. So now you have to rebuild that from the root up. So with your root chakra, it's not about weight loss or food or exercise. It's literally about your root and planting yourself in the earth, in your body, and being gentle with yourself. And realizing that there is no timeline, no time frame for this. So release your expectations around that. And be loving and gentle with your growth. Because you being here and speaking out about how you feel is so amazing and so powerful of you and so loving for yourself. So it's time to let go of any other expectations in terms of how this will go. So how committed are you to moving your body? How often do you do that, Vinta? Because right now the focus is on feeling safe and trusting your body and trusting yourself. Do you do that with the intention of connection with your body, or do you set another intention? Because some people, when they exercise or dance or walk, they do it. Underlying tones are like punishment, punishing their body because it doesn't look like how they want it to look, or behaving how they want it to behave, instead of doing it with the pure intention of connection and building that relationship. This is a message that I've just keep hearing consistently, like the last week or so, in terms of forming a relationship with your body. And this will be baby steps. Good. So what can you do? What can you commit to every day? It doesn't matter how long or how little, for you to connect with your body in a joyful way. Dancing. Good. And then think about ways that you can push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone in terms of connecting with your body, like stretching, maybe doing some light yoga to help you ground even further, to get more into trusting what your body can do. Because remember, it doesn't always feel amazing at first, but it will after. Unfortunately, that's what happens when we push ourselves. Just remember your root chakra, Binta. And getting out there in the earth, planting yourself. Please let me know if you need any other clarification. And who's next? So this is very different from other weeks. I'm probably going to be spending a little bit more time with each of you. Hi, Laura. Laura, do I know you personally? Have I met you in person? So, Laura, what are you afraid of? What are your fears? And also, I apologize for any questions I've missed up there. It's just like can get way too draining if I have to move up and down and look at everything I missed. It's not personal, guys. I'm sorry. Love you. Laura says, afraid of being alone. Okay. Can you expand? Is it a fear of dying alone? Is it a fear of, okay, not finding my path? You're on a path right now. So what do you mean? There is no wrong or right path. So why do you feel like you're not on a path right now? Bintha, can you let me know that you're good, that you're okay? Are you learning from your mistakes, Laura? Thank you, Bintha. What's a choice? What's something that you want to do for yourself, Laura, that you've been putting off? Erica, we're kind of going in a weird order. So we're on Laura now. It's okay, Laura. I can see what Kalima has to say. Honestly, what I'm intuiting right now is you're in an incubation stage. I see you in a clear womb, and what you need, I'm not telling you what you need, this is what I'm intuiting, is just a loving embrace and a warm hug, and not Kalima's sword. So I'm bringing in, seeing if there's any other being, because Kalima is saying not right now for you in terms of a message that she has for you. So what would happen if you released all of your concerns for the future for just 5 minutes? 5 minutes a day, allow yourself some ease. So just sit back with your eyes closed and just let yourself be. And not think about the future, not think about the past. And you can do this through breathing exercises, doing deep breathing in and out. And you could start, the reason for that is to give yourself some space to love and to appreciate yourself. And something so small as like doing breathing for 5 minutes a day will help with that. Hi Maple, hi Kiki. Hi Star Travels. Do you do it consistently, Laura? Because what I'm sensing is that need like a warm blanket, like a weighted blanket, just something to keep you warm and to kind of rock yourself and do things that are nurturing to yourself, because you're not being very kind to yourself. Yeah, so try doing that. You said that the breathing helps, so do that more consistently, meaning every day. And that's a way for you to be kind to yourself. You are so deserving of love and kindness, and start with yourself. Weighted blankets are so good for stress and anxiety. I love my weighted blanket. I just love it because it just pins me to my bed. Okay. Laura, let me know if you need any other clarification. I just want to give you a hug. So I'm sending you an energetic hug right now. I'm sending you all my love. And my dog came over here, and we're both just sending you such a big hug. So I hope you can feel it. I hope you close your eyes and you can feel it. And you can also bring in Yeshua's energy, and ask him for love and support, and for him to show you how much he loves you. If you don't feel that love for yourself, you can ask him. Corey, what do you mean? What does a channeler do when harsh advice is heard? Do you humanize it? What do you mean? Do you mean, do I feel what the other person is feeling when the advice is heard? What typically happens with me is that once I finished channeling and I've released the whoever I'm channeling, then I'll start to be like, oh my gosh, what did I say? And then I'll start to feel bad. And then I'll start to feel like I need validation. Do I tune into the person to see if the advice should be told? Okay, that's what you're asking. It depends on the circumstance. If the person is talking to you about something, then you can ask if this is what I do if the person wants advice or if they're venting. And if you know the person well, then they should trust you. They have that trust for you and your sword that comes out from time to time. Okay. Who's next? I think Shannon had a question. Oh, Cadence had a. Do you really want words from Kali Ma about your test? I don't know. Do you want advice? Take care of yourself and get some sleep, Cadence. Get some rest. Meditate. Do some breathing. Put yourself back into your body. Care for yourself. Saying turn off the electronics and distractions. I don't know why. Just saying turn off the TV. And actually get some real rest by putting your thoughts on paper and journaling. And take care of yourself that way instead of escaping and doing other methods that are a form of escapism. And tune into yourself. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, Shannon. Can you repeat your question, please? Whatever makes me work through this shit. I'm so exhausted. What shit? Okay. Shannon says I have a fear of dying and my life changing for the worse because of things going on and things I hear. I really like to release these things. First thing she says, well, why are you listening? Why are you letting so many outside influences affect your very being? So this is a lesson about boundaries. Understanding who and what you allow into your energy field. She calls it a force field for you specifically. She says you have a shield, a forceful shield, and you are very powerful. You don't use it. You let everyone in and out of the shield. And you need to use your discernment. You need to use your own filters to determine if something is healthy for you or not. And determining that in advance, not just when it already seeps into your system completely. And then from there, you want to run away and hide from it when you've already let it in. So ask yourself what type of energy you're consuming, because there's always an energetic exchange. Ask yourself how it makes you feel, and not just on a surface level, because things that are good for us can feel bad initially. But ask how it's serving you, how it's nurturing your current path, your current goal, how it's nurturing your current identity. And what is allowing these fears to bubble? What are you hanging on to? Who are you talking to that allows these fears to exacerbate? You know what I mean? Sometimes words are hard. Let's see what else she says about that. She again says boundaries is number one. And hold on, I'm reading your recent comment. You said I thought I removed a lot of that stuff from my life and it pops back into it even if I hear from it and then turn it off. if I've already heard it. So this is reflecting your belief of powerlessness and that you can't do anything to help or to change things. And it will continue reflecting that fear of powerlessness until change behavior, like discernment, boundaries, and respecting yourself, she says. Powerlessness meaning that you're living in a world that you can't do anything about and that things are happening to you and that people are doing things to you. And yes, we have a belief. We know in our heads that people are doing things for us and this is all learning experience, but there's like has to really penetrate and hit in your core that this is happening for you and for a reason instead of feeling like a victim. So, where are you being a victim in your life? I think that's feels complete from Kalima, unless you have any further questions, Shannon. But it feels like she actually does have more to say. She says you are not a child, and sometimes you allow your inner child to speak for yourself at all times. Well, do you need clarification on that? I added the sometimes to soften the blow. Do you want me to really say at all times? You allow your inner child to speak for you and have that larger voice. She has so much to say, but you don't trust yourself. So then the inner child comes through and speaks forcefully because she doesn't have that parent, the parent meaning you. So oftentimes when we've been like nurtured and catered to a lot and not really allowed to make many decisions for ourselves growing up, it's much harder for us to do it as adults. So that is, in summary, what's happening right now. And it's not something that can be changed in a forceful way by saying, I force myself, I'm going to just make a decision and not get any guidance from anyone at all. It's much more gradual than that by making small decisions for yourself. And starting by identifying when the inner child is speaking out versus when your higher self is in charge. So you're doing that already by meditating, starting a more meditative practice. But it's more about identifying when you're in that place, when you feel yourself dropping into your inner child. And they literally they gave me the sensation of we're doing a lot of womb stuff today. They give me the sensation of you dropping into your womb again and being that inner child. So it's about managing your anxiety. And so breathing techniques. What type of breathing are you doing? Pamela Erlin's Kripa Yoga can help with that. I love how Cynthia says, I don't have a question. Are there any messages coming through for me? That's a question. Shannon, let me know if you need any clarification. Cynthia, the message that Kali Ma says is, why are you afraid of yourself? You'll never stop asking questions. That sounds like seeker behavior, Shannon. Erica, what was the question about you moving? Maple, can any guides please provide any advice on how to discover my special abilities? Start by meditation and start by doing what brings you joy, what makes you feel alive and innocent and youthful. Sindhu, you can ask for clarification on that message if you'd like, but that was the only thing that came out. Why are you afraid of yourself? Kalima says, I don't have any messages for you about moving. If you want to move, move. I'm not here to stop you or force you. It's your decision. If moving doesn't feel right to you, once you do move, you have every power to move back. And if you prolong the move, then you have every right to change your mind, decide to move wherever you want to. I'm not going to take your power away by telling you to get up and go and move immediately. That's your power. That's what Kali Ma says. Why do you feel so doubtful? Isn't the word, but hesitant? Why are you questioning it? If it's an idea that just came to mind, you can still let it simmer. That's for Erica. Pam, Kalima is asking she's asking, why are you afraid of your power? And why, in the image that I get is a concrete road and you coming up from like the sewer system, like you lifting the lid up and dragging it out and just coming up from the pipes. And it almost feels like you've dragged yourself out of the dirt into the light. And it feels like a metaphor for allowing yourself to see the light now that you've embraced all of your darkness. And by darkness, she means shadow aspects, all of the perceived ugliness. When will you let it out and fully integrate? That's your message from Kali. Patsy, what's your question? I think you deleted it. Can you post it again, please? Thank you. Bree, whenever the guides get a question about, am I on the right path? They will always say that you are always on the right path. Because all the lessons that you learn on whatever path you are on are significant because you chose them and you decided to learn that way. Patsy, is your question? I don't see a question. You said I have trust issues and fear of being hurt by a man. It's been 13 years now. I'm still single. I try to date a few men, but it's always ended before the relationship started. I don't see a question there. I'm sorry. How is everyone else doing? When you're feeling lost, Bree, that's time for a reconnection to yourself. And that's through whatever way you feel the most divine. Meditation is number one. That is difficult for a lot of people who are not used to being with themselves, who are not accustomed to sitting with themselves, but it is the most effective. So when you feel lost, that's a call to return back to yourself, to shut off all the external voices and to hear your heartbeat instead of the others. Patsy, what Kalima is saying is she doesn't see a problem if things ended before the relationship started because they were not the right men for you, they were not healthy men for you, then that is much better than starting a relationship with someone who's damaging. So, which way do you prefer to learn? And which, it feels as if the men you are attracted to are the men that could be the most damaging and hurtful for you. And why is that? What is it that pulls you to these types of people? Hi, Melissa. I am starting to lose steam. So, does anyone else have a question? I have just a few more minutes. Patsy, why am I always attracting the same kind of men? Because it's reflecting you and your sense of powerlessness. So when you feel like you have no control over your emotions and no control over your empathing and sense of boundaries, you're going to attract men who have narcissistic tendencies. And that is not to hurt you, but to show you where to grow. So instead of allowing people to take from you, what are you going to give to yourself? Much love to you, Erica. Thank you for joining. Melissa says, keep coming across 727. That is my birth month and year, but it's like a lot of different number sequences. Why am I always attracting? Wait, I'm so jumping around because I'm like losing my energy. So Melissa, feel into that number, meaning place your hand on your heart, breathe in and out. And what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that number sequence? Not when you think, but when you see that number sequence. Because that message is for you to interpret and not for me to tell you. That's what I'm getting. There's a fly. Okay, where do you feel the warmth, Melissa? Morgan says, recently had a vision of this energetic grid over everything. Geometrical patterns within patterns that everything seems to exist in. Could this be expanded on at all? Exactly, Melissa. It's a heart activation, a heart opening, and it's a reminder that you are love. So that's spot on. Back to Morgan. I'm curious, recently I had a vision of this energetic grid. And Morgan, I'm having a hard time tapping into that because I'm losing steam and I'm hungry. My dog is starting to bark because she is hungry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. I forgot to say, I started a new channel with someone, Jay Shri, beautiful soul, and our channel is called Life After Life. The link is in the description. It's where I channel beings who have recently passed on about the afterlife and the lessons learned. My dog's about to bark. So the first episode is with Kate Spade. We have another episode coming up soon where I'll give you a sneak peek. We're channeling Aretha Franklin, and it's about self-discipline. So just imagine what I'm going to be going through for the next few days with Aretha Franklin's energy and what she's going to tell me about self-discipline. So I don't know if you guys saw my Toni Morrison channeling, but she put me in my place. And I feel like Aretha is just so ready to do the same. So that's going to be fun. So subscribe to that channel. It's not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on the Life After Life channel, which is in a link in the description. So click on that link to see the Kate Spade channeling and subscribe. And if you want to work with me privately, check out my website, alanaheavenly.com. Oh my gosh, she's being so loud right now. Check out my website, alanaheavenly.com. And I teach how to read your Akashic records, which I love doing. It's a 4-week class, and where you get to work with me one-on-one, and I hold space for you as you learn to expand your gifts and speak directly with your ancestors and spirit team. And I just love teaching this because seeing everyone's gifts just grow and activate, and it's awesome. So thank you all. I will be here next week, Wednesday, playing around with the times a bit. I like switching it up. So I want to get people from different time zones too. So yeah, I also am going to be making an announcement soon about a full moon thing that I'm collaborating with someone special on. So, yay! I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And if this has been helpful for you, please like and share the link. And I love you guys. You are awesome. Happy new moon. Take care.